Okay, so becoming a primary school head teacher,
Yeah.
that's a big goal.
Yeah.
It's definitely challenging, but also incredibly rewarding. And I
Right.
mean, judging by all these excerpts you sent over from RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
it seems like you're really trying to understand like everything about what that journey looks like.
It does seem like it. Yeah. And these role catcher materials are amazing. They're so detailed.
Hmm.
I think what I find most interesting is how they lay out a career trajectory. Like it's a roadmap from the classroom to a leadership position.
Right. You don't just become head teacher overnight. It's a
Exactly.
journey. It's like climbing a mountain and you're starting from base camp, maybe as a teaching assistant, just to get a feel for what it's like to be in that environment.
Exactly. And then as you get more experience, you start taking on more responsibilities. So maybe you move up to class teacher and then to subject coordinator and then maybe even deputy head teacher before you're finally at the summit.
I love that analogy. And I think each of those steps requires you to master new skills
Yeah.
and really broaden your understanding of how a school works.
Absolutely.
And speaking of skills, one thing that really struck me when I was going through the RoleCatcher excerpts was how much they emphasize that being a head teacher is not just about teaching.
Oh, yeah.
It's about so much more than that.
It's so true.
You need to think of yourself as like a strategic leader.
Yes.
If the school is a ship,
Okay.
you are the captain.
Right.
You're the one who's setting the course.
Yes.
You're navigating any challenges. You're inspiring your crew.
Yeah. Inspiring your team.
And in this case, your team is the teachers and staff.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like a captain, you need to be prepared for literally anything.
Right.
And I like that RoleCatcher doesn't try to sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
They're very upfront about some of the more demanding parts of the job, like the long hours,
Yeah.
dealing with parent-teacher relationships, which I'm sure can be very complicated sometimes,
Definitely.
and then staying up to date on all of the latest educational policies.
It's a lot to juggle, that's for sure.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And that's where those leadership skills become really essential.
I think so.
Like you need to be able to stay calm when things are hectic.
Right.
You need to be able to make difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to know how to communicate really well.
Yes. Communicate with everybody.
With everybody. With your students,
Students, the staff,
the parent.
the parents. Yeah. Everyone.
And you need to be able to build a strong school culture where everyone feels like they belong and that their opinion is valued.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that they're heard as well.
And that they're heard.
It's important.
Yeah, but you know, something else that stood out to me
Okay.
when I was reading through all this
What's that?
was how much they emphasized active listening,
Oh, yeah.
which seems like such a simple thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see how for somebody in a head teacher position,
It's crucial.
it could make all the difference.
It really is. Yeah.
You really need to be able to listen to everyone and consider what they're saying.
And not just listen, but actually take it in what they're saying.
Right. Yeah.
So like if you have a parent and they come to you and they're concerned about their child's math progress,
Right.
it's not enough to just sit there
Hmm.
and be like, okay,
Right. You actually need to show them that you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
So you're acknowledging how they're feeling about it,
Yeah.
maybe asking some questions
Yeah.
to really understand where they're coming from.
Right.
And then you can try to find a solution together.
Right. And you're also building trust with them
Right.
because they need to know that you actually care about their child.
Exactly. And that you're taking this seriously.
Right.
That's what being an empathetic leader is.
Exactly.
And it makes a huge difference in the school.
It can make the school a much more positive and supportive place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I'm wondering, how does someone develop all these skills? Role catchers seem to have a lot to say about that.
Yeah. They have a lot of good information in there.
Yeah.
And they make a really interesting point.
They talk about how important it is to start with experience as a teacher
Right.
because being in the classroom is what really teaches you about how kids learn,
It's true.
how to manage a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
all about the curriculum.
You can't learn that from a textbook.
Exactly. You can't learn that from a book. You have to be in there doing it.
You have to get your hands dirty.
Yeah, get your hands dirty. Exactly.
Be in the trenches.
Be in the trenches.
See what it's like to work with all these different kids.
And to experience the challenges and the amazing rewards
Exactly.
that come with teaching.
Exactly.
It's such a rewarding job, but it can be tough too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like they say experience is the best teacher, right?
Right.
But it always helps to have some background knowledge,
Yeah, that's true.
like a solid theoretical foundation.
Yeah. And RoleCatcher actually talks about some specific degrees that can be helpful
Oh.
if you're thinking about becoming a head teacher.
Like what?
So they mentioned things like degrees in education,
Yeah.
early childhood development,
Mm-hmm.
even specialized degrees in educational leadership.
Right. So you're really honing in
Exactly.
on that leadership path.
Yeah. And it's about more than just the degrees,
Right.
because they're also certifications.
Yes, certifications are so important.
Yeah, you can get a teaching certification,
Mm-hmm.
a principal certification.
Right. It shows you're really serious.
Yeah, and it shows potential employers that you're committed to this.
Absolutely.
That you're not just doing this on a whim. You really want to do it.
It's an investment you've made in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it shows you're keeping up to date on everything.
And speaking of employers,
Yeah.
we have to talk about RoleCatcher's job searching tool.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Because they're really impressive.
I was blown away when I saw all that stuff.
I know, it's amazing.
Like having access to all those interview questions.
I know, thousands of them.
Thousands of interview questions.
And they're specific to the job.
To the job you're applying for.
It's not just general interview questions.
Yeah, you can really tailor your answers.
Exactly, so you can really practice.
Yes, practice makes perfect.
Exactly, so you can go into those interviews feeling really confident.
And think about how you would handle different situations.
Mhm.
Like, what's your leadership style?
Right.
What would you do if you had a difficult parent you had to deal with?
Right. It's so helpful.
It takes all the guesswork out of it.
It does. And then the AI resume analysis,
Oh my goodness.
big changer.
I know, it's amazing.
It's incredible.
I really help you stand out.
Yeah, because it's so competitive these days.
So competitive. Everyone wants to be a teacher.
Right.
So you need every advantage you can get.
You need to stand out.
Exactly.
But let's step back for a second.
Okay.
Because we've been talking a lot about the how-to.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, like the practical stuff, the skills you need, how to find a job.
Right. All important stuff.
What about the bigger picture?
Okay. I like where you're going with this.
What about the why?
Yes. The why.
Why do you even want to do this?
Why dedicate yourself to this profession?
Why be a head teacher?
Out of all the things you could do,
Yeah, what is it that's really driving you?
what impact do you want to have?
Yeah, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
What kind of school do you want to create?
Right. And I bet RoleCatcher has something to say about this.
You know what they do? They have a whole section on it.
Okay, what do they say?
It's about the head teacher's role in shaping a positive school culture,
Okay.
creating an environment where every child feels safe and supported, where they feel empowered to reach their full potential.
I love that.
Yeah, and where learning is celebrated,
Yes.
not just tolerated or seen as something you have to do.
It should be fun.
It should be fun, it should be engaging,
Yeah.
and it should be for everyone.
Right, and that's so important these days.
It is.
To really create a sense of belonging for all students, no matter who they are or where they come from or how they learn.
It's not just about the student, it's about the parents, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's about building strong relationships with parents.
Making them feel like they're part of the process.
Exactly, because parents are partners in their child's education.
They're the ones who know their kids best.
Exactly.
And when teachers and parents can communicate effectively, that's when you really see kids thrive.
Absolutely. But it can be tricky.
Hold up.
RoleCatcher talks about how challenging it can be to navigate those relationships.
Okay, so give me an example, like what kind of situation could come up?
Well, imagine you have a parent who's concerned about a particular teaching method
Okay.
that's being used in their child's classroom.
Oh, yeah, that could be a tough conversation.
Right.
Because you want to support your teachers,
Right.
but you also want to listen to the parents' concerns.
Exactly. And that's where your leadership skills come in. You need to be able to listen to the parent with empathy. Explain why that particular teaching method was chosen.
Okay.
And then see if you can find a solution together.
Right.
So it's all about finding that balance.
That sounds really hard.
It can be, but it's an important skill to master.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it's not just about parents, it's about managing all those different expectations.
Right.
You have teachers with their own ideas, parents with their hopes for their kids, and then, of course, you have the students themselves.
Right. They all have their own personalities and their own needs.
Exactly. It's like trying to conduct an orchestra
Oh, wow.
where everyone wants to play a different tune at the same time.
That's a great analogy.
It really is like conducting an orchestra. Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to get everyone to work together.
But instead of everyone playing the same tune.
Right. It's more like you want each student to find their own instrument.
Right.
Find their own way to shine.
I like that.
Yeah. So it all comes back to that why.
The why.
Why do you want to be the conductor of this orchestra?
Okay, so for someone who's thinking about becoming a head teacher,
Yeah.
what should they be thinking about?
Think about your values. What's important to you? What are you passionate about? What kind of impact do you want to have on these kids?
Right?
Do you want to create a school where it's not just about grades,
Right.
where it's also about creativity and critical thinking and being kind to each other?
Yes, and helping students understand the world around them.
Exactly. Those are the kinds of things a head teacher thinks about.
Because those are the things that really matter in the long run.
Ex-
Okay, so once you have a sense of your why,
Your vision.
your vision,
Yeah.
then what?
Then you have a direction.
Okay.
You know where you're going.
It's like a compass.
Exactly. It's a compass, and it
Yeah.
can help you when things get tough.
Because being a teacher is not always easy.
No, it's not always easy. There will be challenges.
So you need to have something to guide you.
Something to remind you why you're doing this.
Right, and that's something that comes from within.
It does.
RoleCatcher can give you all the tools and the
All
information,
the practical stuff.
but ultimately, it's up to you.
You're the one who sets the tone.
It's about bringing your whole self to the role.
Yes, your passion, your empathy,
Your belief in those kids,
believing in every single child.
because that's what makes a great head teacher.
It's not just about having the right degree or knowing all the theories.
It's about connecting with those students,
Inspiring them.
showing them that you care.
And that's what's so rewarding about it.
It's about shaping the future.
One child at a time.
I love that.
It's an amazing profession.
It really is. And I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive into the world of the primary school head teacher.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure talking about this.
It's been so insightful, and we've covered so much.
We talked about the career path and the skills you need,
The challenges,
the rewards,
and most importantly, that why.
why you would want to dedicate yourself to this incredible profession.
So if you're listening and you're thinking about becoming a head teacher,
Go for it.
do it.
It's hard work, but it's so worth it.
We wish you all the best on your journey.
Good luck.
And until next time.